Boozhoo Indinawemaaganidog, Niijanishinaabeg, Ogimaagaabaw Indigo, Colin Indizhinikaaz, Wiinibiigong Gichi Oodenaang doonji, Ditibine O Ziibiing Ishkoniganing, doonjii-dibendaagoz. So what I said there in Anishinaabe is my name is he who stands like a king, Ogimaagaabaw, and that I come from Winnipeg, and that's in the Manitoba province of Canada, Manidoo-Obah, the place where the spirit exists, and also Zhaaganaashiiwaakiing, the land of the English, because we were colonized by the English. That's probably why I'm talking to you in this language right now, and not fluently in our language, Anishinaabemowin. So just explaining that part, and then my Ditibine O Ziibiing means rolling river, Ishkoniganing means reserve, doonji meaning from, member from, of, rolling river, dibendaagoz. So I'm just explaining who I am. My purpose of this YouTube channel would be to facilitate sentences and everyday conversation, because we have a lack of that on the interweb. We have a lot of examples of what we used to do, but I'm looking at more examples of everyday language to try to encourage people to talk it in mundane situations, everyday situations, not just at ceremonies, not just talking about how we used to wild rice or these things that our ancestors did, just to facilitate the language in its everyday form. No gum today. And the first sentence I'd like to start out with is just to illustrate the grammar. Is I'm going to say that our ancestors, they never used the English language. Gi-gichi-anishinaabeminaanig, Gaawiin wiikaa, o-gii-abjitoosiinaawaa, Zhaaganaashiimowin. They never used the English language, probably because they didn't know any other language. But also, just to illustrate in that one sentence there's very complex grammar. Gi-gichi-anishinaabeminaanig. That's first person plural inclusive. I'm including you, assuming that you're Anishinaabe and that you want to learn our language. Even if you're not Anishinaabe and you want to learn our language, I'm including you as Anishinaabe because you have the same pursuit as us. Us second language learners are language learners that want to learn our language. So you're a member of the club, anybody that wants to learn the language. So in relation to the third person plural, so once again, first person plural inclusive, relating to third person plural transitive animate verb, like Gi-gichi-anishinaabeminaanig, ours. And you'll notice Anishinaabem, that M at the end shows possession, our ancestors. And that other verb there, when you say o-gii-abjitoosiinaawaa, that's a third person plural transitive inanimate verb. Third person plural relating to an inanimate object. In that case, it would be Zhaaganaashiimowin, which is the English language. Language is considered inanimate in the Ojibwe Anishinaabe language. So just to explain some of the grammar there, that's where I want to explain the grammar as best as possible. Sentences, many conversations, whatever, just to try to get more examples of the language online. And I don't want it to be weighted down with our history, our ceremonies too much, because that is who we are. But every day we talk about our everyday lives. I'm scared that our language will be lost. If we just focus on it as something that's to be overly revered and used only in certain contexts, our language is worth every expression, whether it be mundane, prosaic, pedestrian, anything, to explain how we're feeling, how our family's doing, because we are family oriented. Anything about anything, just like other languages do, not just our ceremonies and our history. Mioe, Kikachina Nakaminanim. What I said there is I'm thanking you all for listening. And I said thank you in a very proper way, referring to the pipe. And I'm referring, and that Gikachina Nakaminanim, I'm referring to first person is referring to second person plural. That's all of you out there on the YouTube and the interweb. That's who the second person plural is there. We use a lot of transitive animate verbs when you talk to people. So it's good to understand those, and those suffixes change depending on who's being spoken to or about. Our language is highly inflected. So, okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye.